Taking a break is not some kind of weakness, it's like mental maintenance. If you've got a car and you don't maintain it, you don't expect it to run forever, do you? I like a bit of wet leg. I like a bit of suede. Hi, how you doing? You're looking great today. I hope you're feeling well. This video is about being burned out, and I was burned out very recently. Is that a dramatic thing to say? Now, how that being burned out was manifest, I found was we went on a trip to Ireland. We went on a holiday in the van. So this was a week. We went up I think it's called the Wild Atlantic Way. That's what it's called. But we went on a holiday, which was great. Really nice to get away. We got a window of good weather. If we'd gone the week before or the week after, oh no, that wouldn't have been good. But we got the ferry from Fishguard to Rosslare and then went down to Waterford, along to sort of Cork and up the coast, and then back down to some of my wife's relatives in the Midlands, and then up to Dublin, and then back across to, I can never remember where it is. I know it's not Liverpool, but we came across then and went back, and we did 1,625 miles. And it was great. We had a great time. And it was a great test of going away in the van, because when we bought this van, we said we'd go for maybe a night or two. But this was like a full week away. So we learned a lot about camper vanning. But when I came back, I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to do YouTube. I didn't want to do my morning pages. So what I did was I just had a break. Now, someone told me a while ago, we went to Santorini on holiday a few years back, had a brilliant holiday. And we came back and I felt really down. And someone said to me, it sounds like the post-holiday blues. I'd never heard of this, the post-holiday blues. But I think actually, having come back from Ireland and experienced a similar thing, I think that's something I might experience. But I also think I'd been overworking. So what I tend to do is, what I've always done is overload myself. I'll say I'm going to do, right, today I'm going to do the cross trainer. I'm going to do my morning pages. I'm going to edit a video or prepare for a video. And then 8 o'clock-ish, I'm going to start on my day job. And then, after I've done my day job, 4:30, I'll do a bit more video editing or whatever, and then feel like I still want to do more. And when we went on holiday, I took a notebook. I got, obviously I've got my phone as a camera, but I didn't do anything. I didn't write anything. I didn't record anything. I obviously took some photos, but it was like I really needed to get away from it, because that tendency to overload myself, it builds up. And I think a lot of people are, I'm going to say, guilty of doing this, or it's just something that they do. But when we got back, I'm not going to say I needed a break after the holiday. I just needed a break. All I did, I'm going to say all I did, was my day job. So I got up, I went on the cross trainer, and this is when I discovered the benefits of an early morning cross trainer session. Gosh, that's a game changer. So something good has come out of this break, for one thing. What I was doing, I was getting up about 6:30, and because I didn't have to, because I wasn't doing my morning pages or any YouTubing or anything like that, I went on the cross trainer. I could have a leisurely breakfast. I could go for a walk if I wanted. We haven't got the dog anymore, so I haven't got to walk the dog. But it was quite nice. This breathing space was really nice. And I think we all need that from time to time. What I feel for me is that this builds up. This may be for a lot of people. The pressure, the constant working builds up, and we need a release. And I don't know whether this is something I've previously been pretty skeptical of. So the other day I was preparing some YouTube stuff. This is Sunday morning, and I was getting some notes together for these videos. And I recognised I was working too hard. I was trying to get it done, but I was a bit stuck. And it was a beautiful day outside, a beautiful autumn day. It was a blue sky, sunshine. It was a bit breezy, but it wasn't cold. And I just thought, I just need to get outside, I need to go for a walk. And I went for it. It was a good hour I walked, and it was lovely. And I had better ideas, more ideas when I was out. So that's one of the benefits of, that's another benefit of taking a break, is like your mind will keep working even though you're not consciously working on stuff. And I think a lot of this comes back to when I was freelance. I was freelance for about 30 years, 25, 30 years. And you've got to work. I mean, I'm pretty driven anyway, but if you're not, there's this self-imposed pressure to work, because if you're not working, you're not earning. And this is one of the big things I've had to get used to as an employee, is the there are a lot of benefits. You can take days off and still get paid. It doesn't affect your income. But this is something I've really had to get used to. So I'm still kind of, I want to see, I want to see YouTube do well, because it makes it worthwhile and it motivates me to do it. And you get to connect with a lot of people like yourself. I just enjoy it. The slight problem with it is it's very similar to what I do the rest of the time. I do a lot of video in my day job. So I'm editing video, I'm recording video, and that's the same. It's a bit of a makes this a bit of a busman's holiday. But I enjoy it. Just a reminder at this point to check out the channel memberships. I don't like putting too many ads in the videos, and one way to support the channel is to take out a membership. You can get members only, ad-free videos. We need breaks, we need downtime, and I think this is something that I've for a long time struggled with. Do I feel a bit guilty about it? I don't know. One of the benefits of getting the van is that it's become a bit of a hobby. In the spring I've installed some blinds all round, and I've done various little jobs on it. I'm by no means a mechanic, but there are things that need doing that I've done. I'm pausing because I'm just watching, there's a robin on the bird feeder. Been a lot of robins around here just lately. They're ground feeders, but they will go to the bird feeder. So this weekend, I think I experienced the benefits of this. I go to a men's group on a Thursday evening. And last week, somebody there was talking about scheduling in downtime, time at which they would do nothing. So my brother-in-law, for example, he's works down in Swindon, which is a couple of hours drive from here. Goes down every day, works on a building site. He does more than work on a building site. He oversees a lot of people. He knows a lot of technical stuff. But when he gets home at the weekend, on a Saturday morning, he likes to turn the phone off and just watch, mindless television. Something that's just not taxing. Now, when I was driving home from the office last week, I was listening to a podcast. It was Steve Coogan on the Louis Theroux podcast. He said one of the things he likes to do is watch Foyle's War. Now, I mentioned in the last video, my wife likes to watch Upstairs, Downstairs. And she also watches, A Place in the Sun and stuff like that. And it's just relaxing. I'm not going to say mindless, but it's not the fast-paced, violent television that we get a lot these days. You watch Foyle's War or Upstairs, Downstairs or whatever. There's no violence. No one's getting stabbed in the eye, or they're getting their throat cut, or, there's no sexual violence, or it can be of its time. But it's just relaxing. So I watched my first Foyle's War on Sunday, I think it was. Saturday or Sunday. And these are, I don't know whether you have them in America, but they're on Netflix.
And a meeting, that's why you were here?
They're set at the beginning of the Second World War, and Foyle is a policeman. He's not been allowed to get into the army. It was all right, actually. The characters were well drawn. The story was good. Columbo, that's another one. My wife likes to watch Columbo, and she's got a pretty high pressure job. She's PA to a chief executive, which is no small thing to do. So I planned I watched Foyle's War. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just sitting there and watching something relaxing. And then this week, I came back to my morning pages and my cross trainer and my day job and YouTube refreshed. Now this is like think of it, it's like mental maintenance. If you've got a car and you don't maintain it, you don't expect it to run forever, do you? It's a bit like the van. It's exactly like the van, actually. But I don't think this is something I ever really appreciated, not fully. That taking a break is not some kind of weakness or I know other people like this who work too hard. It's essential. It's important. And when we come back to, when I came back to this week, morning pages and the cross trainer, which I loved doing the cross trainer first thing. I put some music on. I've got a few sort of favourites that I listen to. I like a bit of Wet Leg. I like a bit of Suede. Up until very recently, Suede, I saw in 1995 at Wolverhampton Civic Hall. It was the best gig I'd ever been to. Went with someone I worked with called Paul, and they absolutely took the roof off the place. Awesome. Just after Richard Oakes had joined, replacing Bernard Butler. Mega. Only recently knocked off that pedestal about a year ago when I saw me and my wife, we went to see Nick Cave at the NEC in Birmingham. Wow. Expensive, but the best gig we've ever been to. So I came back to all this stuff, refreshed and motivated and driven. And I think the important thing to say, even though I took a break of 2 weeks, and this is the point, doesn't matter. It didn't matter. Nobody suffered. The morning pages I'm still doing now, back into it. YouTube I'm back into doing and enjoying it. Maybe if you need encouragement, if you're someone who needs encouragement to not drive yourself so hard, take that break. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And in fact, very much like me, very much like maintaining that vehicle, it will be a benefit.